Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lara and I talk all things conscious makeup consumption. I saw Rebecca Morgan wearing like a really dark lip color recently, so I was inspired to wear this today. I would not wear this out of the house, but whenever I wear it on camera, I get so many comments like, oh, I love that lip color. So even though I don't know how I feel about it, apparently you guys really enjoy it. So you know what? It works in YouTube videos. I think that's just about the only time that it works. Speaking of Rebecca Morgan, I was inspired to do this series by her a little while ago. I think it was about 6 months ago. I started doing Pan Those Eyeshadows series. Now, I do this a little bit differently than most people do, although, you know, of course, everyone does it their own way. Most people, I think, just like randomly select 5 or 10 or however many shades to try to pan, and then they give updates every couple of months. But for myself personally, I know that the eyeshadows that are getting the most neglected are my single eyeshadows. My palettes, I'm actually able to cycle through pretty well, but for some reason, I just never reach for those single eyeshadows unless prompted, and that is what I've found so helpful about this Pan Those Eyeshadows series. I have slowly been cycling through all my single shadows because I don't actually have that many, but the ones that I do, I think that they were all chosen pretty unintentionally, whereas my palettes, I've gotten them to the point that it's like very curated, and at least because palettes require a little bit more thinking and consideration before purchasing. So most of the palettes that I have, I really thought about them and I knew that I wanted them when I purchased them, whereas single eyeshadows, it's so easy to just like see one at the store on sale and pick it up. For example, this one I have here, you can see it says $2. So I clearly didn't even really care about this. I was just like, oh, a cheap eyeshadow like could be useful. I used to do that a lot. I used to be a makeup hoarder and I used to have all sorts of unhealthy habits around makeup, but through my makeup no-buy and this more conscious consumerism that I have sort of cultivated, I have gotten a lot better with my makeup consumption and with how I view my collection. So I am currently on my 4th year of my makeup no-buy. It's been a long process, but it's actually been great. Also, kind of unrelated, but I've noticed that my like close-ups of products are pretty bad. I usually just like throw the product around like this and it doesn't even focus sometimes, and I'm gonna try to do better in this video. And also, a little while ago, my friend Helen, who I've made on Instagram, she has an amazing makeup Instagram account, so I will link her below. She sent me this Reddit thread that somebody had posted about me, about my YouTube channel, and it was basically saying that like they just discovered my channel, they really enjoyed my content, and that video had so many upvotes. And the day that my friend sent me this Reddit post, I had gotten like 300 new subscribers. I thought that there was something wrong with YouTube. I thought it was a mistake, but no, it turns out it was just a really kind person posting about my account on Reddit. They also mentioned Shauna Rapari and Rebecca Morgan, who I both would consider my friends. And we are apparently the, how did they refer to us? The Canadian Holy Trinity, I think they called us, which really made me crack up. But anyways, if that was you who posted or who called us the Canadian Holy Trinity, thank you so much. That made such a huge difference to my channel. I cannot even tell you. Just a couple weeks ago, I was at 2,000 subscribers and now I'm at 2,700. I literally got 600 subscribers in the last 28 days. I will put a screenshot right here. I can't believe it. I've never seen this kind of growth. I very much appreciate it. So anyways, getting back into the actual makeup content of this video, let's talk about my experience with the 5 eyeshadows that I had in this project for the last 2 months. So I had 5 eyeshadows in this round that I don't love, to be frank, and I knew that going in. I wanted to see if I could try to get any new uses out of these products or if I wanted to declutter them. Most of these I just had very little experience using, so I wanted to come up with an idea of how I felt about them at the very least. So first of all, I think this is the product that has had the most screen time on my channel. This is a Revlon cream eyeshadow, just like a potted one. And I do enjoy this. I do like the color, but it's just a little bit too cool toned for me. I have a very similar one, this Fenty highlight that I use as eyeshadow, that is just a little bit warmer, or there's more gold rather than silver in it. I'm not sure what the difference is, but that I find suits me way better than this, although I still think that this is a great product and I can get use out of it. I just would always reach for that one instead. I am wearing this today on the inner corner. I find that it is a helpful sort of base in the inner half of my eye. Just if I want some shimmer, I can put this on, or I can put this on first and then layer another kind of shimmer over it. It's kind of hard to swatch because my nails are really long right now, so I have to like get my finger in there. This is how Rebecca Morgan does it, so I'm gonna copy her. So that is that color there. It's a really beautiful kind of pinky silver shimmer. I just wish it was more pink and less silver, but this is definitely worth sticking around. I think I still will continue to get use out of it. And this is probably the one that I use the most out of these 5 eyeshadows. But I still do kind of need to force myself to use this one because I have that other eyeshadow. This next one is an e.l.f. eyeshadow. This is a single. It is in the color Golden. This, again, it is a really pretty shade. I'm not sure if I'll be able to show you without it all spilling out. It is a loose powder. I think this is the only loose eyeshadow that I have in my collection. And it is a very pretty color, but again, it is a little bit too cool toned. I do really like wearing this with sort of a darker shade in the outer half and then all over the inner half of my lid. I will show you some pictures of what that looks like. I do like the look a lot, but I don't know. It's not my favorite. I think it's because I don't love browns on my eyes anymore. I used to love browns. I'm gonna see if I can swatch this. Well, there we go, that's not bad. So these two are very shimmery, as you can see. So I'm glad I got more use out of that one. I will keep it around, I do enjoy it. It's just not a favorite and I don't see myself reaching for it that much unless I push myself to. Okay, let's talk about one that I decluttered because I actually found one that I decided it was time to go. I tried this out a number of different ways. I actually posted about it on Instagram a couple of different times because I wasn't coming up with any good looks with it, and I couldn't figure out if it was my like lack of skill or ideas when it came to makeup or because I just don't like this kind of shade on me. And I realized that it is the latter. So this is a really nice shimmery olive tone from Topshop in the color Dirty Martini. And the problem with this is that it's just too dark. I just do not like dark eyeshadows. I could give you a darker swatch there, but you get the idea. I wore this in the outer half and then I blended it out with some darker browns, sort of a medium brown on the lid, and then a lighter color in the inner corner. I'll show you some pictures of what it looked like. My favorite look that I wore in this, I liked it objectively, but I just didn't think that it was a good color on me. I have a problem with dark eyeshadows. I just don't love them. So thank you to everyone who sent in your suggestions about how to wear it, how to make it look good. But I think ultimately, even if it was like a proper makeup artist who's doing my makeup with this color, I just wouldn't like it. I think it's too dark. And that is a problem that we will see with the next 2 eyeshadows as well because they are also dark. So this is the other Topshop one. This is just a black shade. It is Blackboard. And I will keep this one around just because I don't have any other straight black eyeshadows. So I will use this as a liner. I don't think I would wear this actually as an eyeshadow just because it is so dark. Like I would always rather use a dark brown or a dark orange in the outer half of my lid. I think black is just too dark. I used to love smoky eyes and now I'm just not about the smoky look. It's also like not really in fashion anymore. People don't really wear a smoky look. And then the last color is this Pixie shade. Again, this is just too dark. It has a really pretty imprint on there that I don't really want to mess up. The color does come off more easily than the Topshop one, as you can see. So it's also a black, but it's more pigmented and it has some shimmer in it. So I do like it better than the Topshop one. And I like this one better as an eyeliner as well. So at some point you may see me declutter this black Topshop one just from lack of reaching for it. For now, I'm going to keep it around. But yeah, that is what that color story looks like there. It's not super cohesive. I mean, I think I did on some days wear 3 or even 4 of them together, but this is not my kind of look. Like this is not the kind of eye look that I ever do naturally. And I do want to say, I think that January, somehow like working with these eyeshadows in the beginning of the year made me very decisive all of a sudden. So I found that with these two, the e.l.f. one and the Revlon shadow, I tried to combine them with other palettes that I thought worked well together. And because of that, I've actually found a whole other palette that I want to declutter. I'm wearing it today for the last time. I do like how it looks, but I found that the looks that I could achieve with that palette are pretty minimal. It's kind of breaking, so I'm gonna get rid of it. You will see that in my next declutter, but just wanted to also share that because I don't know if I would have come to that conclusion without this Pan Those Eyeshadows. Even though those eyeshadows were not in this series, it affected that decision. Okay, so it is now, of course, time to choose the next 5 eyeshadows for this Pan Those Eyeshadows series. And just so you know, I update this every 2 months. Usually it's the first week of the month, and I alternate with Pan Those Eyeshadows. So the first week of every month you can expect from me either a Pan Those Eyeshadows video or a Project Pan video. So I actually had not decided which would be my focus eyeshadows for this month because I don't have that many. I have 16 in total, although now I guess that's going to be 15 because I'm decluttering that olive color. And I just pulled out the rest of my single eyeshadows and I decided to declutter another eyeshadow. This is just a very decisive month for me. Even with clothing, I'm getting rid of a ton of stuff. I have even one more eyeshadow palette that I'm thinking I will declutter. That is not for this video, but yeah, I think my first decluttering video of 2022 is going to be a good one. Anyways, these are my remaining single eyeshadows, so let's pull them out. I won all of these in a contest from Jackie Wires, who is still to this day like one of my favorite YouTubers. She's Canadian, although she lives in the US, and I won this contest from her. Unfortunately, I didn't get a ton of use out of the products that I won from Revlon, so that makes me feel kind of bad because for the most part, all these products were just like sitting in my collection and making me feel guilty about the fact that I wasn't using them. But I am slowly working through them or giving them away to other people, so that makes me feel a bit better. But anyways, here we have the colors, 725 and 710. 705, 720, and 745. So I'm gonna sit here for a second and decide if I want to bring all of these into my Pan Those Eyeshadows or maybe just some of them. So 1 second. Okay, this is so hard because all of these I want to try them. Like I want to see if they would look good on my skin tone and on my eyes. But if I try them, if I open them, then that's it. You know, I might try it once and realize that I don't want it anymore. I think this is a constant problem with makeup, right? We think we might want something, we buy it, we try it and we realize it's not for us. So I've been sitting here trying to figure out if I want to keep all of these or if some of them actually aren't colors for me. I think I'm going to try all of them, but I will probably regret this. Oh, I just realized that there's colors names on the side. So this one says 720. I thought that's all it says, but it also says chocolate on the side. This one says 710, but it also says caramel on the side. 745 cherry blossom and 725 honey. And lastly, 705 creme brulee. Here are my worries. This is maybe going a little bit too in depth. So this is the color chocolate. This is kind of taupe, and I'm a bit worried about that because sometimes taupes, I don't like them, they're too cool toned, but sometimes if they have just the right color, they're perfect for me. So the Tarte mini blush that they gave in the birthday gift a couple of years ago, I used that as an eyeshadow all the time. It was my favorite eyeshadow, even though it was a blush, because it was kind of similar to that. And I think that might be the case with this, but it might also be too taupey. And then I have this one, which is gold. It might not have enough warmth as a gold. Sometimes I love golds on my lids. Sometimes it's just kind of missing something. And I can't tell about that one. And then this one looks like it's silvery, but it has hints of gold, like yellow gold in it. So it could be really pretty. And I can't decide, like what if I try it once and I don't like it? Obviously I'll pass it on to someone else. It's not like it goes in the garbage, but it's nicer to pass it on never having opened it. These still have the packaging on them. So 1 more minute and then I will swatch all the ones that I'm keeping. Okay, I've decided I'm gonna keep all of them. I'm gonna open all of them right now and show you the swatches. I've never opened 5 products in one day. Oh my god, this is a lot. Okay, so I have the old swatches here and I'm gonna have the new swatches here. So this is 710. It looks very similar. It looks like a cross between the previous Revlon one that I was using and that e.l.f. one. I'm gonna swatch it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Ooh. Okay, I already don't think that's gonna be a good color on me, but it is beautiful. Very creamy. This is a pretty nice formula. The next one, let's do the pink one next. Can't believe I'm doing this. I'm finally doing this. Either way, I couldn't just let them sit in there forever, right? Oh, look at that. Oh, it's very pale. Not that much color comes off. Ooh, that's disappointing. Yeah, I couldn't have known that going in, so I'm not gonna blame that on myself. So this is swatching it like 3 or 4 times. You really can't tell that much. It's more of a base. Okay, let's do the taupe color. So this is the only matte one, I believe. This is just a swatch party. Oh my god. Makeup just looks so flawless before you open it. You know what I mean? Wow, that is darker than I expected for sure. Oh, it's a beautiful taupe color. This reminds me of something. Maybe like a Victoria Beckham shade. Really nice. I'm swatching this many all at once. I never do this. Okay, and then these last two. Yeah, what the heck, I'm gonna do it. I already decided. This is the honey color that is goldish, and I'm worried it might be not the right shade of gold for me. It's kind of mustardy. Also, my hand is kind of dry, so hopefully that won't interfere with the swatches, but my apologies if it does. Okay, it's not swatching very strongly, like not a ton of color is coming off, so maybe I can use these as a base the way that I use my MAC Painterly paint pot as a base, but some of these colors, like this is not this is not enough of a wash of color for my tastes. Now the last one, Creme Brulee. This is really light, but I'm hoping that the gold shimmers are enough. This is very frosty. This is the one I'm most worried about. Ooh, this could be a highlight, I think. This kind of reminds me of my NYX liquid highlight. Can you see that there? Okay, so weird color story, that's for sure, but I think this could be really fun, and who knows, maybe by the next time that I update you, I will regret all of these and I will wish I had just decluttered all of them, and maybe I will actually love them. We shall see. So I just want to show you what those two color stories look like. So kind of similar actually. They both, some of those lighter shades are shimmery. These are not typically what I would say my color stories are. I love reds, oranges, yellows, you know, the warm colors. These are not them, but I love like trying new things, trying to get out of my comfort zone, even if I don't love the looks. It's just fun to experiment. And I think that's why we do these Pan Those Eyeshadows videos, right? That's why we watch them, for ideas, for inspiration, and also for inspiration to declutter and look inward at our own collection. So without further ado, I'm going to talk about the book that I've been reading lately. In every video of mine, I talk about a book at the end. So let's get into that. So this is Light Seekers by Femi Kayode, or Kayode, I'm not sure. This is actually his first novel. It seems like he's primarily a TV writer, but I am really interested in this author. I followed him on Goodreads the other day because at this point I want to read whatever he writes next. I want to know what TV shows he worked on because I love his style of writing. It's very propulsive. It's very interesting. His characters are really good. I'm over halfway through at this point and I'm really enjoying it. I would be surprised if I found a lot of books of this caliber this year. Like, I'm already thinking about my top books of 2022. Just kind of always thinking about where things rank, and I think this is going to be up there. So it is about an investigative psychologist. He is originally Nigerian. He lived most of his life in the States and he moves back to Nigeria. Then he is trying to help not solve a crime. There was a series of disturbing murders that took place a couple years ago, and he has been hired by one of the individuals who was murdered's father to investigate what happened and why it happened. So he goes to this small town, he's trying to figure things out. So yeah, it's a long book, but I'm getting through this really quickly. I love the setting, I love the characters. This is excellent. I highly recommend it if you love that kind of psychological thriller. Yeah, really enjoying it. That is going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of these two color stories. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.